Welcome to week 2. What we're going to do this week is cut our fabric ahead so that hopefully the plan is on Tuesday morning at 10 I will be sewing along with you, or at least I'll be sewing on this project, you'll be sewing on whatever project you choose to do. And then when it's all done, the video of me sewing will be up on YouTube and stay up on YouTube. So this way you can be cut ahead and you don't have to watch me do all the cutting, and most of you are really good at cutting anyway. So Moda Blockhead Block 2 is just a whole bunch of half square triangles, 12 of them to be exact. So 3 for each color. We're going to use 4 different colors. You'll see them as I cut them. Okay, this is the background. I'm using the same background because given that I needed 4 different colors, I have to use this as the background. So I'm making the 6-inch block out of this. And I'm also going to teach you how to use the tucker trimmer in this video. Okay, so first thing I need to do is cut 4 2-inch squares. But given if I cut this off the whole distance here, this is the cut that I had from last time. I've lined it up, it's a short distance, it's easy to do. I'm going to cut the bigger size. We're going to make half square triangles. They need to be 2 inches unfinished. They'll finish down to 1.5 inches. So that means I have to cut 3/8 of an inch bigger, and then I like a little extra room. So I'm going to add an extra 1/8. So that means 4/8, which is a half. So I'm going to cut 2.5-inch strip off this. Black dots, okay, reading the black side, so I'm putting the 2.5-inch line on the edge of my fabric. I still haven't changed my blade, you guys. Bear with me. Okay, I'm starting off, I'm ending off, and I've cut the strips now. And I'm going to cut 1 extra strip because I know that this is a dimension that I will use again, and definitely will have enough to cut all I need for the half square triangles. Okay, so there's my strips. We now just need to use these. So given that we need 4 strips, 4 2-inch squares, if I stack both of these on top, you can see that I have 4 layers of fabric. So I can do it in 1 cut. But I need to square off my edge. So I don't want all this little fray stuff there. It's kind of hard to guide by. I also need to make sure I have all the layers underneath. So I'm just putting the 1/4 inch line of the ruler on a line on my mat because I ran this on a line on the mat, starting off, ending off. Now I'm just going to flip this around because I need the white side for the 2 inches. I mean, you could read it from the other side, but you might forget. So I am cutting that off. Now, clearly I have a rectangle, so now I need to shrink this down. It's probably easier if I put it down here so you can see it better. I'm going to just put this right here. Going to square this up because now we know we have it all right there, and now I just need 2 inches. And if you remember, before I used my 6.5-inch ruler, it would have been much easier to use. But now I have my 4 2-inch squares. I'm just going to put them aside. Okay, that's my trash pile. Now it says in the pattern that I need 6 2.5-inch squares cut diagonally once to make them the background B squares in the pattern. But I'm going to do large. I'm going to cut them right here. I'm not going to cut them in half once on a diagonal. That's what I'm trying to say out loud. I'm having trouble with. I'm going to get my smaller ruler. Okay, I can have my 2.5-inch squares. Now if I cut this, I now have 4, but I only need 6 of them. So I'm going to, I could take it off, but I think I'm just going to cut an extra one. It's easier than upsetting the apple cart here. Now I have 8. I have 8 background squares right here. Okay, putting them up out of the way. Here's the beige. This should look familiar from last time. And from the colored blocks, it's telling me from 4 colors, cut 2 2.5-inch squares. So we only need 2 2.5-inch squares from each one of these. Okay? So, all right. I'm gonna cut the short way off, and I'm just looking for a straight edge. I don't really have one, so I've moved this around a whole bunch. So I'm going to create a new one using a line on my mat. I have this. Let me just show you. This is on a straight line here. So now I can put this. I use the skinniest little line that I can. I have it right on here. Start off, end off. Much better. We just said 2.5. Black dots. Can read the black dots. So I know I have 2.5. Given that I only need 4, I'm just going to put that right there, because just like I stacked the other ones, I'm going to stack all my colors. 4 layers of fabric. You cut through 4 layers of fabric all the time. Let me show you how that happens. You have this beautiful fabric that's already folded, come off the bolt like this, and it's too big for your table to cut, so you put this on a line on your mat and you fold this up so that you make it a short distance. How many layers do you have here? 4. So stacking our 4 colors one on top of each other is not a problem for a relatively new rotary cutter blade, and clearly one not so new. Okay, so now I have my other colors. Let's just take a peek at them. I have the lighter blue, the stars, in the other, these basically are my 3 blues. I don't know what to call them. I know this one, I'm calling this one navy. And then these are the other blues that came in the fat quarter bundle. I have all of the, no, I guess I don't. Thought I had all the salvages to one end, but it doesn't matter. So basically, because we can cut through 4 layers, this isn't a long distance. I have long arms and I'm tall. I'm going to cut through them and cut one 2.5-inch strip off. So I'm putting it roughly on a line here so that I have a line that's pretty close to taking off all the salvages. So I'm just putting this ruler right down here. I want to make sure I have a straight line. And I'm starting off, ending off. Now I have all the other 3 there, and I need 2.5 inches for my squares. Right here. Okay. There we go. I'm just going to separate this, and all right. Now we're going to rotate this 90 degrees. Had to get math in there somewhere. And I'm putting this on the mat. Now what I'm going to do is, again, make sure I have all 4 layers under there. Just cut a little piece off. Put it aside. Going to cut my 2.5-inch. Now I have just, okay. Oh, I forgot to add my other one. I have 1. How many do I need of each colorway? Do we remember what it said? It said cut 2 2.5-inch squares. Okay. So we have 1 of the 3 of them, and go on best laid plans. Now I have 2. Alright, move that up here. I have to cut my 2 from here. I was going to stack, but clearly that's not happening. Okay, so I need 2.5. 1. 2. Alright. Now I'm going to sort my fabric so they're all ready to go when it's time to sew. So I have my 2 right here of each one, and now I have to separate these out because I want the like ones together. This being a directional print might annoy somebody, but I'm just gonna not let it annoy me and see what I can do with it. Alright, now the good news is we need 1 of these for each one of these, so let's just check it out and make sure that we're right, because they were cutting them in half and we're not going to. We're going to sew half square triangles, so I'm just setting them up to make sure that we have the right amount. And I think my cutting the 8 was a smart move, but we might need more because there's 2, 4, 6. Yep. By doing the extra one, I made it so that we can chain piece these half square triangles and I can demonstrate the tucker trimmer. So I have 2, 4, 6, 8 2.5-inch background squares. That's what you want. So we're all set, and if you cut like I did right here, you'll be all set to sew on Tuesday morning at 10. See you then. Thanks.